What if the biggest barrier between you and your dreams isn't the world outside but the fear inside? Today, I invite you to take one small, scared step that will change your life forever, because the journey of 1,000 miles begins not with certainty, but with courage. Fear often enters our lives quietly. It doesn't always show up as loud panic or obvious hesitation. Sometimes fear is subtle. It shows up as overthinking, as planning forever but never acting, as waiting for the perfect time that never arrives. It shows up as comparing yourself to others until you convince yourself you are not good enough to try. Fear is clever. It disguises itself as logic. It whispers, wait, not now, wait until you're ready. And most people spend their lives waiting, never realizing that readiness is born from the very thing they keep avoiding, the first step. But here is the truth no one teaches you while growing up: your beginning does not have to be bold to be meaningful. Your beginning just has to be yours. It just has to be honest. It just has to be small enough that you can take it, and brave enough that it changes you. You don't need to begin with fire. You just need to begin with willingness. Because the universe does not respond to perfection. It responds to movement. There's a moment in everyone's life when they feel like everything inside them is shaking. Maybe that moment is happening for you right now. Maybe you're standing on the edge of something you deeply want to dream, a change, a new chapter, but your legs refuse to move, and you wonder, what if I am not capable? What if I take the step and fall? What if everyone sees me fail? The fear feels so big that the dream begins to feel small. But listen closely. Your dream is not small, your fear is just loud, and loudness does not equal truth. Every person you admire today was once exactly where you are: unsure, unprepared, and terrified of taking the first step. But they started anyway, not because they were fearless, but because they were tired of letting fear control their destiny. They were tired of living in the shadows of what if. They were tired of letting their future slip away because their fear felt more familiar than their courage. And maybe that's where you are: too tired of waiting, tired of doubting, tired of shrinking to fit the boundaries that life or society or circumstances placed around you. You are here for a reason. The title you chose, Start Small, Start Scared, but Start Now, is not just a message. It is a declaration. It is a promise to yourself. It is proof that something inside you is ready for change, because people don't choose titles like this unless their soul is begging them to begin, unless their heart is ready to grow, unless their life is ready for a shift. And let me tell you something with complete honesty: you do not need a perfect environment to begin. Many people think they need more money, more support, more confidence, more knowledge, more time. But beginnings were never meant to be measured by resources. They were meant to be measured by courage. Courage is the only currency you need to start. Everything else can be built along the way. Look at the most inspiring stories in the world. They rarely start with comfort. They start with confusion, with pain, with uncertainty, with disadvantage, with fear. Because greatness is not built in ideal conditions, it is built in impossible ones. And yet, the people who rise are the people who show up anyway. They start with trembling hands. They start with shaky voices. They start with tears in their eyes. They start with doubt in their minds. They start with fear in their hearts. But they start, and that is what makes them unstoppable. You are not behind in life. You are not late. You are not unworthy. You are simply standing at your beginning, a place that feels uncomfortable only because it is new. There is nothing wrong with feeling scared. Fear is not a sign to stop. It is a sign that you are on the edge of something meaningful. If it didn't matter, you wouldn't feel fear. So instead of waiting to stop being scared, try something different. Take the step with the fear. Let the fear walk beside you, not ahead of you. Let the fear be the reminder that you are alive, that you are growing, that you are expanding. Let fear become evidence of your courage, not an obstacle to it. You will not know everything at the beginning. You will not be perfect. You will not have all the answers, but no one does. Everyone begins as a beginner. Everyone begins unsure. But those who refuse to begin stay stuck in the same place forever, waiting for a moment that will never come. Life does not magically deliver clarity. Life rewards those who move. Imagine the version of you 5 years from now, confident, strong, successful, fulfilled. That version of you does not exist without the step you take today. That version of you is waiting. That version of you is cheering for you. That version of you is already smiling because they know how powerful your choices will be. But you must begin. You must take that small step. You must take it scared. You must take it now, because your future is not built in one giant leap. It is built in 1,000 tiny steps that no one sees. It is built in the small moments when you choose courage over comfort. It is built in the quiet decisions that no one applauds. It is built in the hesitations you overcome. It is built in the fears you walk through. It is built in the days you show up even when you feel broken. You may not see progress immediately. You may not feel strong right away. You may not understand why the journey feels slow, but slow progress is still progress. Small steps still move you forward, and scared beginnings still create beautiful endings. This is where your story shifts. This is where your life expands. This is where your courage grows. This is where your future begins. This is your first step. There is a moment in everyone's life when they look at their reflection and realize they have been waiting too long. Waiting for confidence, waiting for approval, waiting for the right time, waiting for the fear to disappear, and then suddenly something inside them whispers, if I don't start now, I may never start at all. That whisper is not random. That whisper is the voice of your destiny. It is the voice of your future self, calling you forward. And the moment you listen to that voice, even for a second, your life begins to change. Because starting is not just an action. Starting is a declaration of self-worth. When you start, you are telling the world, I believe I deserve more. When you start, you are telling yourself, I am ready to rise. When you start, you are telling your fears, you can stay, but I am moving. And that is one of the most powerful decisions you will ever make. The world is full of people who want a different life, but are too afraid to take the first step toward it. But you are here, listening, learning, preparing your heart to begin. That alone makes you different. That alone makes you powerful. That alone makes you ready for transformation. But let us talk honestly, beginnings are not glamorous. No one celebrates you in the beginning. No one claps for you. No one understands your vision. In fact, many people will question you. Some will doubt you. Some will ridicule you. Some will try to convince you that you are dreaming too big or moving too fast. And it is always the people who never dared to begin who criticize those who do. But here is the truth. Their limitations are not your limits. Their fear is not your fear. Their disbelief is not your destiny. Their doubt has nothing to do with your direction. Your journey is yours. And you must walk it even if you walk it alone at first. There will be nights where the journey feels too heavy, days where you question everything, moments where you wonder if you made a mistake. That is part of growth. Growth is messy. Growth is uncomfortable. Growth never happens in your comfort zone. If it did, everyone would succeed. But those who grow are those who endure the season of uncertainty long enough to reach the season of clarity. Do not underestimate the power of small steps. Small steps are the foundation of all greatness. When a child learns to walk, they don't take giant leaps, they take small, clumsy, unbalanced steps, but they take them anyway. And with each step, they get stronger. With each step, they gain balance. With each step, they learn something new. That is how human beings grow. That is how dreams grow. That is how you will grow. Even the dream you hold within you right now, the dream to start, to rise, to create, to change your life will not happen in one big moment. It will happen through consistent small steps that build a foundation stronger than fear. Starting small gives you room to learn. Starting scared gives you room to grow. Starting now gives you room to succeed. And let me tell you something deeply important: you don't need everyone to believe in you. You need just one person, yourself. When you believe in yourself, even a little, the universe begins to shift, doors you never saw begin to open, people you never met begin to appear, opportunities you never imagined begin to show up. But the universe does not move until you do. Some people spend their whole lives waiting for a sign, but here is the truth. Your desire to start is the sign. Your discomfort is the sign. Your longing for change is the sign. Your fear is the sign, because fear only shows up when you are standing on the border of growth. If you were not meant to rise, you would not feel the pull. One day you will look back at this moment and realize it was not your fear that defined your life, it was your courage. You will look back and realize that everything you built, everything you became, everything you achieved started with one small step you took while you were scared, and that step will become one of the most meaningful decisions of your life. Think of the people who inspire you. The reason their stories matter is not because they were perfect. It is because they began. They dared to step into uncertainty. They dared to trust themselves. They dared to walk into the unknown with nothing but hope in their hearts. And that is why they reached places others only dream of. You are no different. You have that same strength. You have that same potential. You have that same fire. The world may not see it yet, but you feel it. You know it, you sense it, and your soul is tired of standing still. So let today be your wake-up call. Let today be the moment where you choose yourself. Let today be the moment where you stop shrinking to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. Let today be the moment where you no longer apologize for wanting more. Let today be the moment where you stop doubting your worth and start honoring your dreams. Life will not hand you the perfect conditions. There will never be a day when everything aligns. There will never be a moment where the fear disappears completely. Waiting for that moment is like waiting for the sun to shine at midnight. If you want a new life, you must create it not when you are ready, but when you are willing. Start with the tools you have. Start with the courage you can gather. Start with the belief that even if you fail, you will learn. Start with the truth that failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is a part of success. You don't need a guarantee. You need a beginning, because when you start, something inside you awakens. Something inside you strengthens. Something inside you changes. And that change is the beginning of everything beautiful that is waiting for you. Your future self is calling. Your destiny is calling. Your breakthrough is calling. The question is, will you answer? There comes a time in your journey when the excitement of beginning fades and the true test begins. The first steps feel empowering, but the middle of the journey is where most people give up. The middle is where doubt becomes louder, where progress becomes slower, where results are not visible yet, and where patience feels like a heavy burden. But the middle is also where transformation happens. The middle is where strength is built. The middle is where ordinary people become extraordinary. And that is why you must keep going even when the middle feels unbearable. Some days you will feel like you are moving forward, and some days you will feel like you are moving backward. But progress is not a straight line. It is a path filled with curves, pauses, lessons, and detours. Every step, even the difficult ones, is shaping you. Every step, even the painful ones, is preparing you. Every step, even the invisible ones, is adding to your strength. Success is not built on motivation alone. Motivation may start the journey, but discipline sustains it, and discipline is born from commitment, not commitment to the dream, commitment to yourself. When you choose yourself again and again, even on the hard days, you become unstoppable. And here's something many people never learn. You don't need to feel inspired to take action. Most days you will not feel ready. Most days you will not feel excited. Most days your fears will try to convince you to take a break, to slow down, to quit. But growth does not happen on the days you feel amazing. Real growth happens on the days you push through even when your heart feels heavy. You will face moments where you are misunderstood, moments where people question why you are working so hard, moments where you feel lonely because nobody sees the vision the way you do. But remember, people cannot understand a dream that was never given to them. Your dream was whispered into your heart, not theirs. So do not expect them to validate it. Do not expect them to see what you see. Do not expect them to clap for a seed they cannot recognize as a future tree. Your responsibility is not to convince the world. Your responsibility is to begin to grow, to rise. You may fall along the way, you may face setbacks, you may make mistakes, and that is not only okay, it is necessary. Mistakes are not signs of failure, they are signs that you are trying. They are lessons in disguise. They teach you what no textbook ever will. They show you what no advice ever could. They refine you, strengthen you, sharpen you. The people who rise in life are not those who avoid mistakes. They are the ones who turn their mistakes into mirrors that show them who they are becoming. You will learn things about yourself you never knew. You will discover strengths you didn't realize you had. You will uncover resilience that was hidden behind years of doubt. You will surprise yourself with the way you rise after falling. And with every rise, you will feel something shift inside you, a shift from fear to faith, from hesitation to action, from doubt to belief. There will be days when you wonder if all the effort is worth it, days when you feel invisible, days when you question whether the universe is even listening, but it is, and it always responds to those who persist. The universe may be quiet, but it is never still. Something is always moving on your behalf, even when you don't see it. Remember this, the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. But if you stop watering the seed because you cannot see it growing, you will never taste the sweetness that was meant for you. Your dreams need time, your courage needs time, your transformation needs time. But time is only useful when you begin. People often look at the success of others and judge it by the surface. They see the results, the achievements, the confidence, the strength. They see the victories, but they never see the battles behind them. They never see the nights the person cried. They never see the days they felt like giving up. They never see the failures they overcame. They never see the fear that tried to stop them. They never see the small steps they took year after year. And that is why comparison is dangerous. You are comparing your beginning to someone else's middle or someone else's ending. Your journey is not meant to look like theirs. Your timing is not meant to match theirs. Your pace is not meant to be identical. What matters is that you move. What matters is that you try. What matters is that you don't let fear shrink your future. And here's the most beautiful part: when you start small, when you start scared, when you start now, you give yourself permission to grow at your own pace. You allow yourself room to fail without losing faith. You allow yourself to learn without pressure. You allow your dream to breathe. There is no shame in starting small. There is no weakness in starting scared. There is no foolishness in starting now. The real shame is in never starting at all. Think of all the dreams buried in silence because someone was too afraid to begin. Think of all the talent the world will never see because someone doubted themselves. Think of all the potential wasted because someone waited for permission that they never needed. Do not let your dream join that graveyard. Do not let fear steal the life that is meant for you. Do not let hesitation become a permanent home. You are stronger than your fear. You are bigger than your doubt. You are more capable than you realize. You are standing at the edge of a new chapter, and the first step is not supposed to feel easy. It is supposed to feel scary. It is supposed to feel uncertain. It is supposed to push you. That is the sign that you are stepping into the next version of yourself, a version that is more courageous, more powerful, more alive. Take that step. Take it even if it shakes you. Take it even if it scares you. Take it even if you don't know what comes next, because the moment you begin, your life begins to shift. Now, as you stand here on the brink of your new beginning, I want you to carry this truth deep within your soul. Greatness is not born from certainty. Greatness is born from choosing to rise despite uncertainty. It is born from choosing to love yourself even when the mirror reflects doubt. It is born from the moments you decide to keep walking, even when the path is unclear. Starting small is not a limitation, it is a gift. It teaches you humility, patience, and resilience. It allows you to cherish every little victory. It gives you the space to make mistakes and learn from them. Starting small means you are building a foundation strong enough to hold the weight of your biggest dreams. It means you understand that every oak tree once began as a tiny acorn buried in the soil. Starting scared is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of courage. Courage does not mean absence of fear. Courage means feeling the fear, honoring it, and moving forward anyway. Courage means trusting that your heart is bigger than your doubts. Courage means believing that you are worthy of the life you dream of, no matter how scared you feel. And starting now is the most powerful choice you can make, because waiting only lets fear grow louder and dreams grow colder. Waiting only prolongs the pain of what if. Waiting only steals time from the life that is waiting for you to live it fully. You are worthy of starting now. You are worthy of trying now. You are worthy of becoming the person you were always meant to be starting now. No more waiting for the perfect moment. No more waiting for the perfect feeling. No more waiting for approval or permission. The power to change your life is in your hands this very moment. So take a deep breath and step forward. Take a small step. Take a scared step. Take a step filled with hope and faith. Because when you start, the universe begins to move with you. When you start, doors open that you didn't even know existed. When you start, you begin to attract the people, opportunities, and experiences that align with your dreams. When you start, you become the author of your own story, no longer a bystander but the hero. Remember, the journey ahead will not always be easy. There will be days when you want to give up. There will be moments when fear feels overwhelming. But on those days, come back to this moment, come back to this choice. Remember that you started small, you started scared, but most importantly you started, because starting is the bravest thing you can do. Starting is the seed from which all dreams grow. Starting is the promise you make to yourself that your life will not be defined by fear but by faith. You have everything you need inside you. You are stronger than you think. You are more capable than you know, and your story is just beginning. So go ahead, start now. Start small, start scared, start powerful. Your future self will thank you for it.